Let's see. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hey, Joe. Hey, Shadia. Hey, Tiffany. How was open hack? Did you all go to open hack? Anybody go? Is that a NutriGrain? Is that strawberry flavored? It's got to be the.
Nope, it's the green apple.
Ooh, that's a close second. I'm a sucker for the strawberry, but man, green apple's good. Nobody went to open hack. Anybody? Austin? Deandra? Dovray? Anybody go?
I
Did
completely
you just
forgot
leave
about it
Max
until
there?
I missed it. Would you
3
ask?
p.m.
Did you go to open hack?
Oh no, I moved, so I was moving.
Oh. Okay, you have a legitimate excuse. What the heck? Did Max just go by himself? I mean, I think I don't know if Ryan is still in Syracuse. I don't think he is. He used to go to open hacks. I don't know. I'm talking like I know. I'm not even remotely close to Syracuse. Okay, well, um, if you didn't go to open hack, did you have a nice day yesterday? Anybody do anything cool? Or just business as usual?
I stayed home doing homework.
Nice.
That
Responsible
was
thing.
most of my night.
Shadi did loads of laundry.
I just unpacked.
Never an end to the laundry. I played Metroid Dread, the Metroid for the Nintendo Switch. Well, should we get into it then? Unless you guys want to see me beat the final boss for Metroid Dread, which is where I'm at right now. Okay. So where we left off last time, we were deploying the backend, and specifically we were working through a couple of issues around deploying the backend, getting it to talk to Postgres, getting it to bind to the correct port, getting it to provision tables if they hadn't already been provisioned. I talked very, very briefly about scaling. But let's just go ahead and do a quick check on where people are at with their backend. So I'm gonna pick on myself first, and I'm gonna see if my backend is still running. Hey, API online, cool. Let's check on Joe, Austin, the people that were able to get their backend links up. Let's see if we've got some working backends. Joe's got a working backend up and connected. Spellbinder Austin's got a working backend. That looks good. This one's getting redirected. Please redirect me. Please redirect me. Okay. And then it looks like we don't have, so what, 50%? No, less than 50%. A little less than half of the class got their backends up in the last class. So I'm going to turn this around and ask, where are people at that don't have their backends up? Where did I lose you?
It's just time for me. I planned on after this class to vamp it up because I was busy moving and unpacking and stuff.
Can I help? That's all this week is about, is making the time and getting your stuff deployed. Where can I, if we need to start at the very beginning, I can give you the 2-minute speed run to get you up to where the rest of the class is.
We can do that.
Okay. Where did you get to? Did you install the Fly CLI at all?
Yeah, I installed it, but I didn't do anything else with it.
After you installed the Fly CLI, did you do fly off login? Were you able to get it connected?
No, I
So
didn't.
do fly off login in your terminal, and then let me know what that does. Okay, so all right, Shadia, where are you at?
I wasn't here on Monday, so
Oh, thank you for posting the slides. Weren't here, yeah, for our last class. So what we're gonna do then, Shadia, is what I'm gonna send you. Same thing, Hassad. I'm gonna give you and Shadia and Deandra the speed run for getting the backend set up. So if you can hang with me for a second, we'll get you as close as we can to where everybody else is at. Shadia and Hassan, do you have GitHub repos set up for your capstone?
Yes.
Hassan says yes. Shadia, you've got them too? Okay, great. So what I want you to do, what I want both, if you haven't done this already, I want you to go into a terminal and run that command. It's really important that the commands that I show you, it's really important that you copy and paste them verbatim into a terminal. And it doesn't matter where you run these commands from. It's just really important that you copy them and paste them exactly as they are in Zoom chat. So like for example, on Monday, somebody copy pasted it and missed the H in SH and that just broke it. Same thing with the echo statement afterwards. So run the curl, run the echo, do it in your terminal. And once you've gotten those two steps done, let me know. And we'll move on to creating our Fly account. So you're going to install the Fly CLI. You're going to add that command to your ZSHRC profile using the second command. And then if you haven't already, make sure you go to fly.io and you sign up in your dashboard. Yep, second command's not going to do anything. It's not going to print anything out on the screen. And then after you've created an account with Fly, when you sign up for Fly, use your GitHub credentials, just sign in using GitHub. It's kind of the easiest way to do it. And then to finish and round it all out, run in a terminal, run fly auth login, copy and paste it and run that command. If that command doesn't work and it says like fly command not found, open up a new terminal and then type that in.
I opened up a new terminal and ran fly off login, but it still gave me the same error. Can't command not found.
You share your screen, show me.
Yeah.
Cool. So show me your ZSHRC. So cat out, type in cat space tilde slash tilde is the sign is the character the squiggly line thing.
Oh, it's like the approximate
Yep,
sign.
exactly. Yes, yep. Slash dot ZSHRC. Perfect. There it is. Flyctl install, export path. Both of those. Almost look right, except for the fact that it doesn't have. Oh, you know, I gave you. Yeah, the command I gave you didn't work exactly right. So what I want you to do is type in open and then tilde slash dot ZSHRC.
Am I doing the right kind of slash?
There you go. Yep, it is. Yep. Dot ZSHRC, just like above, except instead of cat, we're gonna do open.
And that's it.
Yep, that's it. And then where it says export path on that second line,
Yeah.
right before the slash bin, I want you to put that slash users DeAndre Taylor slash dot fly. I want you to put that whole path. And instead of typing it out, just grab it from the line up above you. That
Just
yeah, that
without the quotations.
without the quotations. Yep. So this is just taking the path to that folder and adding it. Yep, go ahead and paste and then hit colon. So whenever we add something to path, we're just adding the list of places that our computer looks in when we type commands. Go press back, space, sorry, save.
Save. Like Command S.
Yep. Great. Now go back to a terminal. Close this one out. Let's open up a new one.
And this one too.
You can close. Yeah, you can close out.
What? That wasn't a. Oh, that was text edited. It just is the dark mode.
Fly off login.
Uh,
Okay. Do you mind if I take control for a second?
yeah.
All right, let's take a look here. Excellent. Shadi, you were able to fly off login.
Yeah, I just had to follow along because mine's just saying command not found too. Or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
Yeah.
But you were able to get fly off login to work.
Oh, yeah, it's just waiting for session.
Did it open up something in your browser for you to go and?
Nope. It's still like loading, doing a little spin.
Okay. Give me a second. We'll look at it. Okay, let's look at that ZSHRC real quick. Then it's saying that command's not found as if this. Yeah, there it is. So I think I got the paths slightly wrong here. It is. Okay, so let's open up. Yeah, we can use a text editor. Let's open up that CSHRC again. And then it's this fly slash bin. There it is. Okay, now it works. So let's do fly off login. It's gonna
Oh.
pop open a thing. We're gonna connect. Done. All right. You are all caught up.
Thank you. What did you do?
We just needed to fix that path. I have that echo command that I sent you, I think was wrong. We might need to fix it for a couple other people. I'll go back to you, Hazad, here in a second. Shadi, do you want to share your screen? Waiting for session. Oh yeah, command click on that link right there for the fly.io. So just that link opening HTTPS, that whole hyperlink. Yeah, grab that whole thing and pop it into a browser. Sign in with GitHub. What? Well, okay, 1st let's go to fly.io. Cool. Yep. And then what was the hamburger icon deal up at the top right? Yep. Let's sign in. Sign in with GitHub. You are marked as spam and therefore cannot authorize a third party. What? You are marked as spam. What does that even mean? You are not allowed to use a throwaway email address for your account. What email did you use for your GitHub? Did you use a throwaway? What? Uh, I don't know what.
No.
All right. So I'll share my screen. Click that import from URL button, take that connection string that you've got, click the import from URL, paste it in, click import. It should start to pre-fill this for you. Let me know if anybody's having problems getting that to pre-fill. The only thing that we need to do though is we need to change the host to localhost because we're not connecting directly to the database. We're doing it through proxy. So change that host box to localhost and switch the port from 5432, which is your Mac Postgres database, to 5433. You should be able to hit test and it should say connection looks good and then you can save it. I'm going to save mine and call it fly Postgres database. So that is how you will connect to your Capstone Postgres database. After you've created the connection, just like normal, you could double click on it. It'll give you an Explorer window. It might look like my screen, and this is the default Postgres schema, the information schema, PG catalog, that kind of stuff. But if you want to get to your app, just click on the drop down up above and switch to your database. Mine looks like my DB app name. And remember, I'm using the blog the blog code. So here's the comments and posts and users table. Yours will look different because your Capstone tables are different than mine. Questions? Anybody having issues that I can help with getting you logged into your?
What did you do after you changed the port to 5433?
Yeah, good question. Back here, let me exit out and open up the Beekeeper.
Oh, you pressed test.
Yep, I pressed test. That's not totally necessary. So I changed host to localhost and port to 5433. You could do test just to make sure things work. It should say something like connection looks good. Did you get that?
Yep.
Okay, great. And then down at the bottom, name it something like fly database or fly something, and then hit save.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Yeah, for some reason my I have the new link, which is the same link apparently, for the backend, and I click on it, just keeps me to that redirecting screen.
So you remember you relaunched, right? Make sure that in your code, in that
Oh, you know what? I need to,
fly.toml,
300.
yep, exactly. I hit the exact same thing because when you relaunch, it overwrites that file. In fact, I just did another fly launch and I'm sure it overwrote that. So I'm gonna go and fix. Yeah, internal port 3000.
So when I wanna update it, it's fly deploy.
It's fly deploy, right? Fly launch for the get-go, deploy thereafter. And then I've got one more method that I'm going to show you here in a second. If we're ready to move on, please feel free to stop me if you've got questions. Okay, moving on to post. Moving on to, we talked about this. I'm going to skip over the. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to skip over that because that's fun. We're going to talk about that for a second. But before we do, you can also, is anybody familiar with the Postgres CLI? When you've worked with Postgres, have you primarily been using Beekeeper? Okay, so things like select statements, delete, insert. Have you been running those kinds of things through Beekeeper?
We did a Khan Academy section on running, I think it was SQLite.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you're interested and you don't want to use Beekeeper, you can always use the CLI. Just throwing it out there, it's called, you could find it by doing fly Postgres connect, passing it the name of your database. Oops. And it will drop you into a terminal where you can, do Postgres commands if anybody is interested in that. But if you're using Beekeeper and you like it, by all means, please continue to use it. Joe, when you say what's next, are you talking about setting up the Beekeeper connection?
Yes.
Yeah, so quick run through of how to set up the Beekeeper connection. Just if you open up Beekeeper and you're already logged into a database, just close out of that window. Make sure you've got all your Beekeeper windows closed. Open up a new window. So you're at the hub screen. Under the new connection, click import from URL. And then paste that connection string. Let me know once you've got that box up with all the information pre-filled.
Probably go off it. Do I need to change the host name?
Change the host to localhost. So get rid of that flycast stuff. Change the port to 5433. And then go down to the bottom and give it a name like fly database or something and hit save. Once you connect, it's going to drop you into the default Postgres database. Use the picker at the top to switch to your capstone tables.
I'm getting connection with you.
Share screen, show me.
It might be because I think it said it was going to be on 5432.
Do you have the proxy running in the background as well? So let's see here. Yes, 5433 looks great. Remember that if you want to connect to the Fly database, you need to have a terminal open running the proxy
Oh.
So open up a terminal. It's the command is there from earlier. I'll get it for you. Here's what mine looks like. Replace that capstone backend young pond with your your DB name.
So we can say
It matters where you fly deploy from. You need to be in the root of your project. So sitting at the top layer of your file is usually where the package.json is. More specifically, you need to be where the fly.toml is, and that file gets written when you fly launch. So really wherever you fly launch from is where you need to fly deploy from later on.
And what am I changing it to? I'm changing it to reflect the name of my backend database.
Exactly. My capstone backend young pond is not what your thing is called.
I don't need the whole URL, do I?
You just need the DB name. If you want to share your screen, I could show you whether or not it's correct. Drop the .flycast part at the end. Cool. Yep, hit enter. Now I'll try opening up the beekeeper connection. Cool. Yep, and then the picker up at the top left, select the database. That top one, perfect. Under the public. Hey, there's your capstone tables. Nice. Looks like you had some preceded data. Cool.
Thank you.
Nice. Tiffany, for user password, that should be part of the connection string. So if you use that import from URL and paste that connection string into Beekeeper, when it pre-fills out the box, it should have the username and password already filled out. If you want to share your screen, I can walk you through it. And I will pause. There we go. For a little bit of bonus points, extra credit, and also just to make your life easier. If you're tired of doing fly deploy every time that you make changes, one thing that you can do is set up GitHub Actions to automatically do a fly deploy every time that you commit and push. And the instructions for how to do that are down at the end of the slides, starting on slide 79. Yep. It really just involves setting up a file in your repo to tell it how to do your deploy, and then giving it access to your fly deploy through this fly API token. If we have time, I'm going to go over this because I think it's really cool to. It's nice to commit and push anyways, because you're always saving your work and publishing it for other developers to see on GitHub. But this also knocks out the deploy part. So it's easy to just commit and push using GitHub Desktop, and then your deploy will automatically go out. So take a look at that if you have a sec, and I'll make sure that we have time to cover it and do a demo in class. But I want to try to see if we can get through deploying the front end tonight. So let's talk about Netlify. Front end deploys are different then backend deploys, right? Front end doesn't need access to Postgres. Front end doesn't need access to Node.js. Front end is really just serving static files, CSS, JS, that in HTML. Netlify is kind of the leader in this space for a bunch of reasons. But what makes Netlify interesting is that it has what's called instant cache invalidation, which makes Netlify kind of stand apart from other hosts. Take GitHub Pages, for example. When I met all of you back in week 6, we used GitHub Pages to do our portfolio, our personal portfolio, personal website deploys. One of the things that GitHub Pages has is it maintains a cache in order to make serving the files cost efficient. The GitHub Pages cache is different than the Netlify cache. The way that Netlify is able to serve your front end in all of its data centers, and then when you make a change, the way that it's able to invalidate all those caches and push out a new copy of your front end resources kind of puts it in its own league. It's really, really good. They do a resell similar to how some backends do a resell of AWS. They do a resell of the Akamai CDN, which is extremely popular. All the big companies use it, but then they put their magic on top of it with this cache validation. And that's what we're going to use for deploying the front end Capstone. It's really easy, it's really friendly and simple to use. So to get started with using Netlify, we're going to go ahead and install the CLI. This is different than the curl command we used before to install Fly. We're going to install Netlify using npm. You can run this anywhere. The -G means that it's going to install it globally on your computer. So I'm just going to take that, open up a terminal, and type in npm i-g netlify CLI. And I'm going to go into my Capstone front end. So just a reminder, we're switching gears from working on the Capstone backend to the Capstone front end. If you want to get to that code and you are doing this all through your GitHub repos, be sure in GitHub Desktop to switch your repository selector from Capstone backend to Capstone front end. Then open it up in VS Code. This will get you to your front end code. So get your front end code in front of you and then install that Netlify CLI. Once you've got a terminal up in your Capstone front end, from your Capstone code, so looking at here in my VS Code, close out of that. Here in VS Code, I'm going to go open up a new terminal and I'm going to do npm install. You might already have node modules installed for your front end, you might not, but either way, do an npm install. And then remember that with the Create React app, in order to bundle up our code, we need to do this compilation step. To do this compilation step and get our React code ready to deploy, we're going to do npm run build. And that's going to call into our Create React app. It's going to take everything and it's going to bundle it up into a couple of files. So try running npm run build in your front end code. Once you've run build, it should show something similar to my screen in your output. Is anybody having problems getting their npm run build to work? Everybody able to get it? Head nods, thumbs. Cool. All right. Let's deploy. So using that CLI, just run netlify deploy. And if this is your first time, it's going to guide you through some stuff. I'm not creating a brand new Netlify account, so I don't know what it's going to look like on your end. It's probably going to want to prompt you to go to the website and create an account. Again, you can sign up using GitHub to log in. So going to netlify.com, log in, and signing up with GitHub. That's one way to get your Netlify account. But in the terminal, if it's prompting you to select some stuff, well, you tell me, what is your screen showing? Is it prompting you to go and log in, create an account? What happens, right?
I made a account before running Netlify deploy, and then I made the account with my GitHub login. So when I
Okay.
ran Netlify deploy, it brought me to an authorized application screen.
Cool, and you linked it.
I'm gonna hit authorize. You know, am I personally? I think it worked. It's just under sites.
So once you create an account on Netlify, come back to your terminal and do Netlify deploy again, trying to get to a state where it's asking you, what would you like to do?
Oh, should I hit create and configure new site?
Yep, we're going to create and configure a new site. Just want to wait till everybody's there. Is everybody able to get to creating and configuring a new site in the terminal? Cool. I'm going to go back to share my screen. Team, just pick whichever one it created by default. For the site name, I'm going to use my domain name just to help me remember. Apparently I can't use .com, so I'm just going to use part of my domain name, but just name it something that helps you remember that it's for the capstone. When it asks you to provide a published directory, it's asking you what the folder is for the files that you built when you ran npm run build. It's looking for the files that it's going to take and upload to this to your website. The published directory that we're going to use is called build. So type in build and hit enter. Should upload some stuff and spit out some links. You can preview what the website looks like with this draft URL. Some of these links that it prints out at the bottom, you can use to get to your website. Netlify deploys in 2 tiers. If you just say Netlify deploy, it pumps it out and it puts it onto these draft URL links. If you want to deploy it to production, that's what that second command is, that it prints out Netlify deploy -- prod. It's really up to you. Just whenever it asks you what the name is of the build directory, or sorry, what the name of the published directory is, just type in build. Anybody having trouble getting Netlify deploy to work for their site? Once you've got a website URL, so here's the command that I want you to start using to push code on the front end. Yep, now we've got to edit some endpoints. We'll dig into that here in a minute. Once you've run netlify deploy prod, I want you to grab that website URL and please add it to your capstone links. So put it into your front end link column here on this spreadsheet. Just let me know that you've got something working. We need this for our capstone.
When I ran that, it asked me to provide a published directory. Am I just putting build again?
Build. Always build. Yep.
Then which app am I taking? Or URL?
Grab the. See. Grab the website URL. So after you do the deploy prod, the last one, the netlify.app URL.
Oh, so we are running, sorry, I missed a little bit. We're running the netlify deploy dash prod.
Exactly. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
please.
There.
Once you've got that URL, come back. I pasted a link to the spreadsheet. That's going to be the front end link column for that spreadsheet. So grab that URL, come back and open up Google Sheets and throw that in there under the front end link. And just let me know that you're able to get your front end up and running. For my terminal theme, that is called so I think I might have talked about this last time in class. There's a cool add-on for Z Shell called Oh My ZSH. If you install this and go to themes, there's one called Pheno Time. That's the one that I use. But it's called Oh My Z Shell. Oh My ZSH. Tiffany, I get bin-netlify. Tiffany, this is make sure when you're doing that drop down and you're selecting your terminal, instead of selecting bin dash, select bin ZSH. If you want to share your screen, I can show you what I'm talking about. Stop sharing mine. Yeah, so see, yep, you've got ZSH selected here. So just do netlify netlify deploy -- pro. Perfect. Yep. Command not found. Do npm space y space -g space netlify -CLI, all one word, netlify -CLI. CLI. Yep. Perfect. Now go press pop a couple times on the keyboard until you get back to the netlify deploy command and then hit enter. Yep. Netlify. Can I take control for a sec? Okay, let's try. NPM. NPM 10.7. Okay. You're using NVM. All right. NPM I dash G Netlify dash CLI. Yeah, it's not installing. All right, let's see if there's another way for us to get the Netlify CLI on your machine. Let's start with Netlify CLI. Make sure you have node 18.4 or later. You have npm 10.7. Netlify. Rich. Okay, that's the newest version. Let's see what else is in here. Oops. I don't have an answer. What other tools have you guys installed globally with npm? Did you install nodemon globally? No. Hmm. Okay, let's get root modules that bin Netlify. Okay, so we were able to get Netlify installed through here. Okay, so let's switch then to installing it globally. Let's see if that works. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So let's try it now. Netlify. Yeah, Netlify. CLI. Interesting. So it's there. It's just not. It's not adding itself to your path for whatever reason. So I think what we could do to get around this, Tiffany, is we can just add this to your ZSHRC. I'm missing something here. Like we this is clearly a hack, but it will work for now. So that's all that matters. Let's get rid of that. Where's that? And then let's try Netlify. Neat. Okay, Netlify and then deploy dash fraud. And then let's get you signed into. This should pop up a thing. Did it pop up in another window that we can click on? Also, I don't know if you've been talking, but you're muted.
Sorry. I thought I was talking through the whole time. Wait, why is not dropping?
If it didn't open a window, that's okay. It prints out a link in the terminal that we can just open up in the browser. Either way works.
Yeah, it did open a window though.
Okay.
But somehow,
Nice.
somehow it's not dropping here. No, that's weird.
That's okay. It just
How we doing the drone somehow?
I'll stop.
Thanks. I have no idea what's going on here.
It's okay.
It's kind of weird though. And now working.
Do you have like a key held down or the mouse, something touching your mouse pad?
Yeah. No.
Well, either way, once you are able to open up that window, just log in with Fly and then all of those steps.
Okay. I can try my own though. Thanks.
I'll let you. Let's figure it out.
Thanks.
I'm going to pause my camera for a second. I need to run to the house. It's getting really loud out here. I don't know. Can anybody hear the noise? No, it's pretty quiet. Okay. It's raining real hard out here.
Can't hear the noise, but it's muffling you a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna run in the house and get down for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Because it says to change my code, but I don't know where I'm doing that at.
Show me.
Yeah. Oops. Let me just relocate my child really quick.
Okay, sounds good.
She's pretty loud.
While we're waiting on that, I'm not gonna pick on you, Doveray. I'm just trying to help. Where are you at? It works. Can you paste the link to the front end in the spreadsheet, please? Terry's not here, Sophie's not here. I think there's just a bunch of people that are out too.
Hey. Oh, what just happened? I forgot what I was saying.
Share your screen. Show me where you're at.
Okay.
Let's get your front end deployed. Okay, so this is the back end code. So open up VS Code where your front end code is at. Okay, looks good. Yep, this is your app.js. Perfect. In the terminal down below, you've got npm run or npm start going down there in the bottom, right?
I probably just have to read. Oh, maybe. Let me just redo it. What the heck? Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Close, you're one off. There you go. And you're in the SRC, you created a directory, or sorry, you created a terminal in your SRC folder. We need to be in the capstone folder, so you can, yeah, you can do that. Just make sure that, yeah, exactly. Clicking there, or even easier is to open that up and then in that huge white space down below, yeah, whatever you want to do, somehow get us a terminal. Yep.
I did it again.
It still says SRC. Okay, well, you could fix this if you leave that terminal open. It says SRC, yeah. Leave the terminal open and just go up a directory. To do that in the terminal, just say cd space ... So go up 11. Yep. Enter. Cool. Now you're in the capstone folder. This is where you want to be. Type in Netlify. Let's see if you've got the Netlify program installed. Yep, Netlify. Enter. Okay, you don't have it installed, no worries. Do an npm space I space -g space Netlify -CLI.
Wait, what was the
All
last?
one.
What was the last one?
So Netlify -CLI, all one word.
-CLI.
Perfect. Yep. Okay, now type Netlify again. Hit enter. Awesome. So you've got the Netlify program installed. Now this is all the stuff that you can do with it. Okay, Netlify deploy. Every time you do Netlify deploy, it's going to push up your code. Yep, Netlify deploy. Ask you to log in. Go ahead and log in. Try with GitHub. We had problems with it before. Maybe try it with Gmail. Log in with email. I don't know. Don't have an account yet. Sign up. There's a down at the bottom.
Sign up. Got it.
Nice. I will let you do that, and then oh, nice, very nice, Desiree. How do you want to link this folder to a site? Tiffany, when you do that, you selected a different option. What you want to do is run Netlify deploy, and then when it asks you if you want to link or create a new site, you want to say create a new site. So cancel out of the deploy, and then when it asks you for the first time what you want to do, go with the create a new site option. Any luck being able to log in, Shadia?
It's making me like type my name and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Cool. So we're up to 3 people that have working front ends, with 2 more on the way. Once we get those 2, I'll be happy. While those 2 folks are figuring out how to get those deploys going, I have all of the stuff that we've covered today on the slides, starting with around slide 54. Here's the link for reference in the chat. Let's see really quick. So while those folks are finishing up, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Netlify. So you're not going to hit the price, the paywall. It's 100 gigs monthly. So unless you're serving some really, really big files, you're not going to hit this. Reasonably, you're not going to hit this. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to link up the front end with our domain. And this looks a little bit different than when we were setting up our domain using GitHub Pages. But it's going to take a little bit to get going. So I think we're going to actually stop here for tonight and start on linking up our domains for our front end tomorrow. That should give Tiffany, Shadia, that should give you plenty of time to get that deploy going for the back end. And then tomorrow we can pick up with our front end deploys. After we get our front end deployed and our domains linked up, we're going to look at getting our front end to communicate with our back end. Joe, I know you were asking about how to adjust those API URLs to make the front end call the back end. So we'll look at doing that and making sure that all of our deployed code talks front end and back end. Sound good? Before say goodnight to the bird. I don't know what this one's named. It doesn't even have a tag yet. Oh, it does have a tag on it. Oh, come here. All right, that's it for tonight. It's a little guy. Anyways, no, they're chickens. They're called silkies. Anyways, if you want some, my wife is selling them. I'll give you a link to her Facebook page. Anyways, that's it for tonight. Tomorrow we'll start working on the front end deploys. We'll get all of our capstone stuff figured out. And then I said that we're going to make sure that your capstone is fully deployed before the end of this week. I lied. We might need Monday. It just kind of depends on how much we can get done tomorrow. But we'll see if we can get everything. If we can get everybody's capstone fully working end to end tomorrow, then you won't see me, and that'll be it. Otherwise, we might take Monday. All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you all for coming and hanging out and getting your front end deploys rocking and rolling. Have a great rest of your evening.